All right, so for those people who have not invested, let me just explain a little bit about the valuation difference between 1 to 4 units and 5 plus units. These are all residential, right? But 1 to 4 units has a different valuation method compared to 5 plus units. 1 to 4 units, you're doing comparable sales, meaning that whatever your neighbor sells for, that's how much you're probably going to sell your property for. So it's kind of depends on what your neighbors are doing. But 5 plus units, that's what's so fun about this, is because your property value depends on how you operate your property. It equals the net operating income divided by cap rate. So it means that the more money you make is the net operating income, the higher your property value is going to be. So you need to calculate based on the cap rate. You know, this is a very general, common term in commercial real estate. What is the cap rate? And a lot of people get confused. The easiest way for me to think of cap rate is that just imagine if you're buying this property with all cash, and what is the return on investment the first year? So that is kind of like an easier way to think about it. So the nicer the area, or the better the tenants are, it doesn't matter if they're nice or not, but better quality, higher quality tenants are, then the lower the market cap rate is going to be. So as an example, the market cap rate in Sunnyvale, Cupertino, 2%, 3% maybe. If it's 3% is pretty good. But if you go to Stockton, it would have been what, 7%? Around there. So that's a big difference, right? Now, so because of this method, it really shows you how drastic you can increase your property value. I'm going to show you a case study, how I took a client from investing from a condo all the way to hundreds of units by understanding how valuation works. So the first property that she came to me was that she wanted to buy a condo in Yorba Linda in Southern California. Remember, I came from Southern California. So she bought this for $260,000 and rental equals $2,000 per month. 4 years later, she sold it for $394,500. It was pretty good, but I mean, she put in about $30,000 in it, so she made about $100,000. Then we exchanged it into a single family in Anaheim by Disneyland, and she purchased for $575,000, and rental equals $7,000 to $10,000. Sounds ridiculous, but it's because she was doing Airbnb, so that's why she was getting so much income. But it's a lot of hassle doing Airbnb. So eventually she was like, I'm done with it, I'm gonna just sell it, and we sold it for $740,000 about 2 or 3 years later. So she actually put in about 100 grand in it, so she didn't really make a lot of money in terms of equity. Now, I said, hey, why don't you look into multi-units? She was like, no, I kind of prefer just single family, I've been investing in single family. I'm like, well, multi-units, if somebody moved out, at least you have other units to pay for. So I show her the numbers. This is a triplex in Santa Monica, more closer to Venice area. And she purchased it for $1.3 million. And I showed her that you can make $17,000 because this property has been operating as an Airbnb as well. And she bought it, she fixed it up, and she got really good income. But again, Airbnb has a lot of problems. So eventually, this took about 4 years. She sold it for $2.035. Now, for this property, based on the income, we could have sold it for about 2.4. But because it's triplex, they could not justify the sales price. The appraisal could not come in at higher because of the sales comparable analysis. So that's why we only sold it for 2.035. Then I showed her the magic that 5 plus unit valuation is going to work for her. Then that's when she went into a 6-plex in Sunnyvale. By this time, I already moved up here. She purchased this at 2.37 with 3% cap, barely any cash flow. Her lender from Southern California asked her, are you crazy? Why are you buying this property? And I told her, this property has all the rents, under market rents right now, at $9,400 per month. If you raise the rents and there's no rent control, you can raise it to $14,300 per month. That makes it 4.5 cap, which is higher than the market cap over there. And then if you use the cap rate, and then use that formula to calculate what is the value, she can increase the value by $1.68 million by increasing rent. She would not have been able to do that with any of her 1 to 4 units properties. That's how powerful it is with 5+ units, with an income approach valuation. Now, what's that?
Did she do it?
Yes, she bought this, and she just refinanced. It's over $4 million now.
Nice.
Yeah. And then she got hooked. Now I told her, look at this one. There's a 7 units in West San Jose's off-market deal. And it looks beautiful. Again, the price is hefty. It's $3.3 million. Again, a 3% cap. With rental income $17,800. But this property was built as condos during the recession period, but operated as an apartment building. So, if she do a condo map, she can convert these into condos and then sell them individually. At that time, when she bought it, it was $600,000 per unit, the sales comparison over there. So, with 7 units, that's $4.8 million. Today's value over there is about $900,000 per unit. That's $6.3 million. And she's holding this for about, I think, 3 years or 4 years now. So again, you see that huge jump in valuation because it's an income approach, and also there are a lot of different exit strategies for apartment buildings. Now she said, I still want to buy more apartment buildings. What can I do? Can we buy more? I said, no, not here in the Bay Area. You are doing all these properties in the Bay Area. I feel nervous for you. Maybe you need something with more cash flow. You're building great equity over here. And she knows that I invest in Kansas City, so she was like, can I tag along with you? I'm like, sure. We found this property, 77 units in Kansas City. Higher cash flow, emerging market, we talked about that just now. Found this property next to Class A neighborhood. And then this is Class C, not really nice neighborhood. But there are developments going on right around this property. We purchased this for $3.56 million, 11 times more than what she could have bought from West San Jose. And then the rental income is $43,854 per month. The plan was that you're just going to buy and hold until this area improves. Because what happens when area improves? When area improves, your cap rate go down, right? If your cap rate go down, what happens to your value? It goes up. So the current cap rate in that area is about 8%. Actually, at the time, it's like about 7%, 8%. And the future cap rate, I'm assuming 6%. The Class A area was like 5% over there anyways. So I was like, let's say future cap is 6%. That means when the area improves, it will be about $5.2 million based on today's rental income. So we went in and she purchased this property. Do you see the difference? Mm-hmm. Yeah? 1 to 4 units versus 5+ units, how big the difference in terms of valuation and how fast you can build cash flow and equity. So now, let me show you how we did the valuation and the analysis before we decided to purchase the 77 units. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
I think you guys already fell asleep without the numbers. Oh, is it too much numbers?